Hello and welcome to Newsbreak at 7. I'm Veera Raghav. Our top focus remains on the Nipah situation in Kerala's Kozhikode district. As you know, 5 people confirmed in cases of Nipah. 50 others who were in immediate contact samples have been sent across to the National Institute of Virology, and we are awaiting test results on that. Obviously, lots of measures in place in Kozhikode district as well as in some of those border areas. Almost 800 contacts, we believe, have been traced and are under quarantine or surveillance. Schools and colleges in Kozhikode have been closed till Friday, and containment zones declared in 7 panchayats where contacts were traced. Checking on in the border areas of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, according to reports. Remember, the zoonotic virus is not highly contagious and has a low spread rate overall. So it's not a matter of concern or major worry at the moment. It's purely just precautionary measures that are in place there. So why is it then that Kerala is prone to Nipah, or is it just that the state's awareness and response system is so high that it gets reported? That's what we're trying to understand this evening, apart from getting a status update there. Joining us this evening, Dr. Anup Kumar, who joins us from Kozhikode, who's been very closely involved in the previous outbreaks of the Nipah virus as well as this one. Thank you so much, Dr. Anup Kumar, for taking time out in what I suspect would be an extremely busy time for doctors in Kozhikode. Could you first give us a ground update of the situation in terms of what is there in Kozhikode? How are the patients who've tested positive responding to treatment at the moment, and what's being done to those who have been identified as primary contacts?
The first death has occurred on 30th of last month, and this time we have 3 positive cases right now, and 1 patient died on 12th. So out of these 3 positive cases, 1 is a health worker admitted in another private hospital here in Calicut. So he is doing well. He is having only minor symptoms. Out of the 2 patients admitted here, 1 is brother-in-law of the patient who died first. He is also getting better. He is becoming like febrile. He symptomatically also is getting better. The elder son who is admitted here of the first patient, 9-year-old, he is still on ventilator but getting better. Is responding to the verbal commands, and the respiratory parameters are also improving. And there are no new cases reported as well.
Heartening to know those details. Sir, you've been involved in previous cases of Nipah outbreak in Kerala as well. While I know that it's a global thing, it's happened in several other parts. What is it that makes Kerala, and specifically Kozhikode, perhaps more vulnerable, if I may say so, for as far as Nipah is concerned?
There are 2 ways we can explain that. One thing, like obviously when we had the outbreak in 2018, the fruit bats tested there at that time has shown the presence of Nipah virus. Then later in 2021, like 1 more case was reported. That time also in that area, which is almost 20 kilometers away from the previous center. That area also the bats were tested positive for Nipah. So definitely there is a presence of Nipah virus in the bats in this area, and there are many bats also in this area. That may be one reason. Another reason is, like, there are many studies by NIV where the presence of Nipah virus has been reported in different parts of India except in a few parts of Kashmir. So Nipah is not at all like confined to Kerala or Calicut. Why the other places are not getting the disease? Maybe they are not identifying the cases properly, because in 2019 and 21 when we had cases, that was limited to only 1 case. And this time also, when the death occurred on 30th, the patient was dying with a bronchopneumonia. So many similar deaths might have occurred in different parts of India. So they might have failed in picking up the cases. And so I don't think only Kerala has Nipah or it is confined to Kerala. Definitely other parts of India also will be getting the disease, but we are failing to diagnose that.
No, I completely agree with that, sir. In fact, it's been reported widely about the responsiveness and the awareness levels in Kerala, resulting in cases being reported while it may go unreported in other places. But still, we are in the 4th outbreak of Nipah that we've seen. it's still speculative, isn't it? While we know that it's from bats, fruit bats, how it actually transfers to human beings is still in the speculative realm, isn't it?
Again, difficult to comment on that. We know that the root cause or the source is from bats, but what is the mode of transmission from bats to human being is still not very clear. Just like in COVID, the COVID has affected almost all parts of the world, but still we don't have a clear answer on what is the source and what is exact mechanism from from the source it has infected the index case. The same thing is happening here as well. So by the time we are diagnosing it, majority of the time it is from the second case, and still we don't know what is the mode of transmission.
There's also a need to study the ecological dimensions, isn't there, to understand when possibly the viral load increases. Is there a cycle in that that we need to understand better?
Yeah, well, exactly. We will require, but not the exact mechanism of transmission or the mode of transmission. We have to know, like, at what period of time there is a surge in viral load in these bats, and again, what are the factors which is inducing the spillover of virus from bats to the human beings.
Thank you, Dr. Anup Kumar, joining us there from Kozhikode, there dealing with the cases on the ground there. Also joining us now is Dr. Rajiv Jayadevan of the Indian Medical Association's Kerala chapter. Thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us. We just heard Dr. Anup Kumar give us an overview as to what could make potentially Kozhikode and Kerala more vulnerable, and also talking about the increased number of cases reported. Why would you think, do you think, is there a specific reason that we need to understand better? Is there a little more understanding required of the virus to understand why perhaps Kozhikode is possibly most vulnerable?
Yes, in fact, I was listening to your discussion, and the question you asked was exactly the question on my mind as well. We know that the Nipah virus is commonly present in several species of bats, primarily, as most of our viewers know, the fruit-eating bats. Now, there are so many different types of bats. These are relatively large ones that can fly for dozens of kilometers per night. So they are not confined to one area, but they tend to roost in certain trees. They like to gather in number. The question is, if this virus was living peacefully in a bat without causing disease, why would it jump to another species? And what is the mechanism by which the virus gained entry into these unfortunate individuals, ranging from 2018? So we went back and looked at the published papers on the 2018 outbreak. Most of the information we hear are speculative. Many people claim that it is because people ate fruit that was half eaten by bats. I do not know how many people would actually do that. And there's no clear evidence that it is really the cause of this. But it's a convenient theory. You could sell it to most people. But the downside of that theory is that people extrapolated this into saying that fruits are the cause of Nipah virus. And then the sale of fruit, juices, the export of fruits took a huge hit. So you see the damaging power of perhaps inaccurate information. Now that takes us to the next possibility. The virus is present in all body fluids of the bat, including the saliva, the reproductive fluids. A bat that's just given birth might bleed, and so on. And these bats keep flying. And it's possible that the virus from these bodily fluids somehow gained entry into the human being, either directly or through another host. We do not know that. We do not know there's another agent in between, like they identified in Malaysia. We know that another slight variant of this Nipah virus is also circulating in Malaysia, and that particular one. So I just want
to ask: is there something we can understand from global research out there? Is there something India specific that we can take away? Something that you may be aware of? That's my last question to you, sir.
From global research, there has to be a mechanism. So, according to the published paper, the first patient might have had contact with the baby bat. That's not confirmed. That's been denied in later reports, I know. So we simply do not know. I think at least during this outbreak, if that question is answered, we will have a clue as to how to stop another one from happening.
important that you mentioned that it's time to study and understand the virus and how it moves and how it transmits closely. I'm sure you, along with other doctors, will be looking at deep study on that. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajiv Jayadevan, for giving us that information and perspective about this Nipah virus that we're speaking about. We'll keep a close track of the Nipah situation in Kerala.